Hello everyone, my name is Michi. Thanks for watching this video. On this channel, I'm gonna explore Japan not as a tourist destination, but a new lens to see our life differently. So today, I'm talking about unique phrases that we use when we enter into someone's space. We approach when we enter into someone's place, like the house, for example. I think it sounds a bit weird, right? Why the Japanese people approach when they enter into someone's space? I'm gonna explain about it. I think it's coming from a different concept and idea about the private space, in particularly the house. We are supposed to say Ojama Shimasu when we are invited to someone's house and enter into the entrance in the room. What does it mean? Ojama Shimasu means, translated directly, Ojama Shimasu means sorry to interrupt your space. So as I said, we approach when we are entering in someone's space. But how come we say that? 1 month ago, when I was invited to someone's friend's house in London, naturally without thinking, I said, "Ojama shimasu." And then the people look at me with a weird eye. "What do you say, Michi?" I say, sorry to interrupt your space. And everyone say, "Oh, you don't have to say that." And at that moment, we talk about it. Why do Japanese people use that phrases? So my conclusion is, in Japan, to be the friend, to be a close relationship, like the best friend, doesn't mean we lose the border between us. Even between close the relationship, like partner, boyfriend and girlfriend, and best friend, we are conscious about a border, a line between someone's space and ourselves. Even though the person who invited me doesn't feel I interrupted your space, but we Japanese think our existence affected your life, even a little bit. Because if I go to your place in the room, someone cleaning up before I arrive there, being welcomed by someone else is not equal to not to bother, not affect someone's life. So we don't say, "May I come in?" when we enter someone's space. But to tell, we recognize that we are now entering your space, we use Ojama Shimasu. I think that this phrase is related with our custom. We take off shoes when we enter someone's space. We are having that custom for really very long time. Recently, I heard, for example, at the Western culture, that people took off the shoes. That's because people want to make the room and the space clean. We Japanese are taking off our shoes for that reason, but this is not only the reason. In addition to cleanness, we took off the shoes because Japanese entrance is working as a system and a function where we make sure we recognize we are entering into someone's space. So at the Japanese entrance, action of taking off our shoes, the works as the physical border, visible border between the outside and your private space. So as I say, like in Japan, like to being the great relationship, like the best friend and then a partner, doesn't mean we lose the borders between us. To make sure we are not seeing your space, we use Ojama Shimasu to enter into someone's space. It's kind of like the awareness of someone's space. Speaking of the space, I have one shock like a cultural difference when I was living at the share house in Amsterdam. It's my first experience to live in the share house in the first place. But most surprising thing is that the flatmate invited people like almost freely. For example, like when I went back to home, like my flatmate invited the people who are the drinking party and people enjoying the drinking at the living room. And when I saw it, like to be honest, I was really shocked. Why that the other people, not our flatmate, is drinking and enjoying something at a shared space, like living room and the kitchen. And of course, I really like to communicate with a new person. And now I change myself and I accept that like the difference. But at the beginning, I was a bit shocked. What's make that difference? In Japan, shared space doesn't belong to like specific someone else. Rather, we are not supposed to occupy and use that space on our own. Let me explain about it in detail. So in Japan, share house means we share the something with a flatmate. And except for the private room, common space like the living room should be the shared. That means one of the flatmates cannot use shared space freely. I think in my opinion, like the concept of shared in the Western society means like ownership is divided. Like as if like the person living at share house think that we just shared the common place like the living room and then the kitchen with the other flatmate. We have like not strict, but we have like a rule. Yeah, we have like unspoken rule. For example, like please keep the kitchen clean and don't like make some noise till the midnight, for example. It's like within the common sense. As long as we follow unspoken rule and like the common sense, we can use our home on our own, including shared space, the common space. So when I lived in the share house in Amsterdam, it feels like I own my space, even though I share it with the other flatmate. The case of, for example, like Netherlands, and from my experience, I'm living the house, and then, of course, private room is limited to the private. The share space, like the living room and the kitchen, is included in my house. As a premise, like in Japanese society, like a common space, like a shared space, is like the neutral space. So we are not supposed to bring something private. In my opinion, as a premise of the Western, this is my house and this is the place for the live. So inviting someone and having the birthday party for myself is part of the life. Like to be honest, at the first year, I needed time to get familiar with this custom, But after getting familiar with that, I really enjoyed that life. Because like I feel like at the end I could use the share house as my own house. But before that, I was thinking only the private room belong to myself. And then the common space is not belong to me. Of course, I'm paying the rent fee, so I can use the shared space and the common space like a living room, the kitchen, the toilet. But I didn't think it's also belong to myself as well. It's completely like divided. That make me feel I should not use the private space freely. As if like, if I do that, I feel like I occupy the common space for myself. After I changed, as I said, I think that kind of the style of living in the share house is like the ownership is divided. I have the ownership with this house, and one of the flatmates has the ownership as well, and you have that ownership as well. Everyone has the ownership, you know. But in the case of in Japan, I feel like we are not supposed to have the ownership. So today, I explain the difference, the idea about the space. Someone else's space and the shared space. How do you feel about it? I'm really interested in your comment. Are these the Japanese concept too modest or really polite? Let me know your opinion in the comments. So thanks for watching today.